This is Gael, Piper, Luke, Juliet, and Nat. Picture this. You're walking down the street, and as soon as you see your house, a drive-by happens at the house next to yours. And somehow, you get caught in the crossfire and get injured. Or worse. Well, situations like this and many others are the cause of gun violence. This issue is important to talk about and affects everyone around us, even you. This is why I want to discuss this topic and persuade you that guns can be the cause of violence. I am rather knowledgeable on this topic because I have conducted my own research from resources such as Pew Research Center, Brady Unit, Learning for Justice, and many other resources. To make my argument, I will inform you on how gun violence has affected our crime rates in the U.S., suicides, and the endangerments to school environments. To start, let's see how crime rates have been affected in an article written by John Gramlich. He states that in the year 2021, almost 49,000 people died in a gun-related death, which includes murders and suicides. Though the number might not seem big, this is a 23% increase since the year 2019. Even though gun deaths in our current decade are not as high as the deaths to the year 1974, which was 16.3 deaths per 100,000 people, this is still an issue, and the fact that there is still an increase happening today, we might still have the same problems that happened in 1974. There are about 210 people per day that are injured due to a gunshot wound and survived. Along with that, there are about 17 children and teens injured every day by a gun. Children who are all not involved in any violence. The Brady Unit says that about 379 people died by a gunshot, but the intent was unknown, meaning that these people died not knowing why or who did it. Though crime rates consist of murders and injuries by guns, but there is also gun violence that affects people's own mental health and leads to them to commit suicide. Suicide has increased over the years. From the years 2012 to 2021, there was a 45% increase in suicide deaths related to a gun. That increase is more than the increase of murders by a gun. There are also more suicide deaths related to a gun compared to a gun-related assault death. Suicide contributes to about 54% of gun-related deaths. The reason suicide is so high is because of how many people have mental illnesses and how those people have easy access to guns. Though suicide is a huge issue in today's society, there are many who are affected by it. I have not personally been affected by this issue, but the few people I do know that have been affected by this have lost friends and family members, and those people have died by a gun. As I've stated before, these people had easy access to a gun, and that led to the suicide. Although suicide is huge on gun violence, there are also schools that are impacted by this issue, for there are school shootings that occur throughout the U.S. In an article by the Washington Post, it states that there have been more school shootings in the year 2022 than in any other year from 1999. This article discusses the Columbine shooting that occurred in 1999 and explains that more than 3,600,000 children have been affected by this. That is equivalent to 364 schools between the years of 1999 and 2023. Even though Mark Limberman states in his article that there were fewer people injured in school shootings in 2023, he still states that there were more shootings in that year than the past 2 years. The fact that these people can get into schools and harm these children is astonishing. Schools are supposed to be a safe place. If we were to have more safety protocols to prevent this, many children would go to school feeling safe. In closing, I hope the evidence I have provided helps to show that crime rates have increased over the years, the same with suicides, and the fact that schools are full of children who are being affected by gun violence every day. and that I have persuaded you to believe that this is a bigger issue than many others give it credit, and that now you know this issue affects us all.